This might look at first glance like a Candidate.ID Christmas tree, but actually what you're seeing here is the beginning of a fairly complex nurturing and candidate engagement campaign, which not only will automatically keep in touch with the candidates who you push into the campaign over a period of time, which can be as long or as short as you want it to be, but it will also allow you to automatically keep on top of data privacy rules that you have set up in your business, and hence allow you to keep on top of your obligations under the GDPR. This is the beginning of the campaign, so there's far more complexity that can be added as we go along, but I thought it was useful, or it would be useful, to show you the beginnings of this and how Candidate.ID, how the approach actually works. So I'm going to just talk you through this workflow and what it actually means and how the logic flows. So first of all, I've picked here under internal test list, I've picked the candidates who I want this campaign to go to, and within Candidate.ID you can define really tight segments of candidates based on content within their profile or based on engagement with other campaigns that have been sent, and these are completely flexible and completely customizable. So I've created that segment called internal test list, imaginative title, and what I've asked Candidate.ID to do is send my first email, but send that on the 1st of January. Definitely not going to be a new year, new job campaign. What I'm sending out in this case is an initial email just to tell the candidate that we'd like to keep in touch with them. Now, next, what happens here is a bit of yes and no logic. If the candidate opens the email, the first email that I've sent them, then 3 days later, the candidate will receive a second email from us. But if they don't open that email, then within 5 days, they'll get a resend of email number 1, which will include either a subject swap or some content change. So the point of doing that is that we want to engage with the people who haven't opened the first email. And generally speaking, our open rates with Candidate.ID will generally get open rates of between 35% and 60%. So those are quite high, they're higher than industry average. But we recognise that there's still more that can be done, so we work on a resend policy. 5 days, so 5 days after that, the candidate will get that email with the subject swap or content change. And if they open that, then 3 days later, they will then get email number 2. Now, importantly in this workflow, if they don't engage with that first email, either on the first send or the second send, then I'm actually going to delete that candidate from this campaign and I'm going to unsubscribe them because they haven't engaged with my campaign. So under the GDPR, I have no real justification for holding their data. I've made a reasonable attempt to contact them, so I shouldn't be holding on to that. So if I go back over to my initial flow, if the candidate opens email number 2, then 3 days later they'll get email number 3. Now what I could do here as well is I could add in another flow that says if they don't open email number 2, then they'll be resent email number 2. So as I say, this is the beginnings of the flow for a client, so I'm going to add more stuff on as we go along, so it's not entirely complete yet. Once I've opened email number 3, within email number 3, I'm actually going to include a link to our careers page. So this is the third email, so I'm beginning to nurture them towards bottom of the funnel content. Now, interestingly, what I can do, if they do visit my careers page as a result of this email, then I can automatically set some new rules, which say if they did visit the careers page, then within a day, I can send that candidate more information about a specific job that's contained within that careers page. If they don't visit the careers page, then I could actually send them out an email asking the candidate, have they seen our careers page, and including another link to that careers page. So this is Candidate.ID allowing you to customize and tailor the content based on what candidates actually do on your website. That pattern's continued over on the other flow, exactly the same thing. If a candidate visits our careers page, then they'll get either more information about jobs. If they haven't visited the careers page, then they'll get an email that asks them, did they visit our careers page? You can see over on this side my workflow regarding deletion and unsubscribes repeated for candidates who also on the second attempt haven't engaged and opened email number 2. And then if they do, after the resend, if they do open and engage with that email, then they will then fall in line with email number 3. So this is just the beginnings of this campaign for the client. The great thing is once I've created this campaign and completed it for this client, I can then duplicate that campaign for them again. I don't have to sit and do this again. It's really, really easy just simply to copy this campaign. I thought you would find that useful. I hope you did. Please get in touch if you've got any questions about this part of Candidate ID or any other part of Candidate ID.